The main goal for today is to create something that is inspired by the 5th and the 6th generation of gaming consoles. And while the N64 will be the main inspiration for this video, I will take bits from other consoles of the era as well. In that sense, it's more of a modern tribute than a proper recreation. And the second theme I'm going to explore for this video is one that's no stranger to me, and that's water. I've always been inspired and drawn to the levels that include water in video games, and it doesn't matter if it was Dire Dire Docks from Super Mario or the underwater sounds of the marimba in Banjo-Kazooie. I even love the water temple in Zelda Ocarina of Time, so there's that. And you know, I've done that in the past because I've recorded songs that were water inspired and I've done whole albums. So I'm just taking another angle here and I'm gonna try something guitar related this time and we'll see how it goes. The first task was to record the guitar parts, and I chose an electric guitar for this one. I double-tracked the chord progression, and I used slightly different chord voicings for each track. I then panned them hard left and hard right, and I kept my playing style a bit loose because I think the floatiness adds to the vibe of the track. As for the effects, I went with Valhalla Supermassive and added some reverb and delay. And I also used a compressor just to bring some sparkle out of the guitars. Next, I wanted to record some synth pads to go along with the guitars. CryEngine was specifically created to give you the sounds of the 5th and the 6th generation of consoles, and that is perfect for this project. The included convolution reverb is also a nice touch, and I ended up using a preset called Huge Chamber, which comes from a GameCube console, and it sounds awesome applied to the pads. For the main percussion sound, I decided to use this sample. Now this is just a stock Studio One sample, but with some delay from Supermassive we can give it more rhythmic interest and some more movement, and that's a trick I really like to use with this type of music. For the kick and the snare, I decided to go fully synthesized with this one. The kick sound is fairly dry, but I did use an EQ to shave some top end and make it sound more underwater. I did reach for the Supermassive once again and use some reverb on the snare. And both the kick and the snare sound come from Vital. It was finally time to come up with a melody for the track, and I usually spend a lot of time on this part of the process, but this one came together pretty quickly and it was a nice change of pace for me. And as much as I tried, I just didn't have the self-control to not use this stereotypical FM bell for the main melody. I really wanted to do a variation on the main melody for the B section, but as you can see, we were not off to the races. After fiddling around for a bit, I managed to record a take I actually like. I chose another CryEngine preset for this, and I went with the recorder sound. I also added a lot of pitch bends and some vibrato to the second melody because I think that brings out that sense of whimsy that a lot of the old fantasy games had back in the day. At this point, I just listened to the track a couple of times and decide if there's anything else I want to add. I did have two additional ideas, and the first one was to record a string line going underneath the second melody, and the second one was to synthesize the sound of the waves. I kept the mix for this one pretty basic, and there's a channel strip on the master bus which was there from the beginning, and I just did a couple of little tweaks in the end. The second plugin I do have on the master bus is Isotope Ozone, and I use that for mastering pretty much all the time. And again, it's pretty basic, just some corrective EQ and a maximizer. And for the final step, I want to make the song loop. Unfortunately, Studio One doesn't have a native feature to do that, like Cubase or Reaper for example. I can make a second pass render by duplicating the track and exporting everything as a song and just using the second half of the render. And hopefully I've lined up everything properly so I get a seamless loop out of it. So with that, we've reached the end of another video, we've concluded another adventure, and I really wanted to thank you for sticking with me till the end. And I want to invite you to visit my Bandcamp page, which is linked down in the description, where you can download this track. Feel free to use it in your video game project, your video, or any other media you want. So thanks again for watching, and hope to see you next time. Cheers!